Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Courtney, and in today's video we will be talking about morning pages. Morning pages is a very popular topic that's come across my TikTok, my Instagram, maybe you've heard of it too. Morning pages are a key practice from Julia Cameron's The Artist's Way, a very popular book for all creatives everywhere. Morning pages are 3 pages of longhand stream of consciousness writing done first thing in the morning, and this daily exercise helps you clear your mind, process emotions, and tap into your creativity. The idea is to write whatever comes to mind without censorship of yourself, no filters, no judgment, no nothing. And it's a powerful tool for overcoming creative blocks and gaining insight on your thoughts and feelings. And I decided to test this out myself for 3 days because I know this is a productivity YouTube channel, but it doesn't hurt to clear your mind. So let's get started and talk about my experience. So just to give you guys a little info on how I set this up. So I wake up early in the morning at 6 a.m. and basically I get up out of bed, grab my supplies, grab my camera, and then I set everything up and I start writing. So of course I don't show myself writing everything because that would actually be like an 8-hour long video and none of you guys want to see that. So I just took a few clips and then sped it up just so you guys get an idea and just so I can actually show you guys how much I actually wrote, so you guys don't think, oh, I'm just playing with y'all. I did actually do 3 pages, and I'm just gonna talk about my experience after each day. I made a little folder in my notes with just some bullet points that I noticed after I wrote or just throughout the day, and I'm just gonna talk and elaborate on those a little bit more. So for day 1, excuse the blurry camera, didn't realize that my lens needed to be cleaned, and also y'all, it was early in the morning, so the lighting might not be the best because the sun was just barely getting up, you know. But what I noticed after the first day of writing is that I was very surprised at the topics that my mind brought up. A lot of things that I wrote about on day 1 of this experiment was stuff that happened like in childhood, and not like necessarily like bad things or traumatizing things, but just like oddly funny stories or things that I just actually genuinely never talked about since the age of that happened. So it was like years ago. So I was surprised at how much conversation and topics were flowing throughout this first time, because I was very nervous to fill 3 pages, which I know doesn't seem like a lot, but 3 pages is a lot of writing, you guys. And I don't think I've ever actually had to write this much if it wasn't for like a paper in school. So I was very nervous on what I was going to be able to talk about, and I'm very surprised that that's where my mind went, was just me reflecting on things in my past. One thing that I also noticed was, well, another thing that I also noticed was that I found myself a bit emotional afterwards. Of course, I don't have any clips of me, you know, crying or anything. I've done that before. Like, I've started to get carpal tunnel, which I know is so... And I laugh at it now, but yeah, so it is what it is. But yeah, so I just found myself a bit emotional. I don't know why. The things I was talking about on this first day wasn't even, like, they weren't traumatic. Like I said, like, it was nothing bad about them, but I found myself just teary-eyed and just energy somewhat a bit low. Maybe because sometimes when you like expel so much on a page, I feel like that is all like a sense of energy that we're burning, and maybe I just felt exhausted after getting everything out. But yeah, your girl got a little emotional, and it was a quiet car ride to work, you know. But yeah. And another thing, I'm gonna just keep on rambling, you guys, so I'm sorry if you don't like me talking, but yeah. Another thing I noticed was that I completed this within 30 minutes, which doesn't seem that bad, right? Like, I feel like 30 minutes to fill 3 pages. I write pretty small, but yeah, like, it was nice, and I'm surprised it only took 30 minutes, and I felt like I could have went on longer. So the first day, it took me about 30 minutes. And last but not least, it did feel like my brain was shut off. Like, when my brain found that topic and I just started to write on that topic, time flowed, everything flowed. It didn't feel like 30 minutes. And I couldn't really recall now that I'm looking at this page what I actually said, but it worked and it felt good. And yeah, my brain did its thing. Now, excuse me if you hear again some TV in the background. I am at my parents' house and I was going to record outside, but then everybody wants to bring out their truck and act a fool, so it would have been even worse. So bear with me, you guys. Sorry if you hear it, but moving on to day two. Day two was probably the most pivotal when it came to this 3-day experiment. Day two, your girl was all messed up. So, first thing off the bat, my brain felt so scattered. I don't even know how to explain this feeling, but that was, I guess the best way to say is kind of uncomfortable, but kind of cool and awesome at the same time. So I couldn't keep up with my mind at all. Like, there are so many blobs of somewhat words or things that are supposed to be words, but you only really kind of make out one letter. And that happened a few times while like doing this entire process. As much as as much as I had to say or what I was thinking about, my hand could not keep up, and my handwriting went from just sloppy to sloppier. Like, it was crazy. But then again, it never stopped writing. Like, I literally just kept on moving. Like, my hand kept on moving, like writing, trying to keep up with my mind, but it couldn't. And it was so cool to just see my body try to instinctually like keep up with myself. And then I just remember like my hand kind of cramping afterwards. Like, it was, your girl was writing fire, but then again not fire because nobody could read it. It was kind of, all I can say, it was cool. I know I keep on repeating the same phrases, sorry, but it was very cool to just see how my brain and body works, and it just had me thinking like, girl, you can barely keep up with yourself. No wonder you're so exhausted. You know what I mean? Like, when I have moments, a lot of the moments that I've kind of took a break from YouTube or went a long period of time from producing any content for y'all was just due to really burnout and a lack of keeping up with the standards I put for myself. I know I'm not a perfect channel. I'm not sitting here with a million subs and have a huge fan base that depends on me, but I had so many expectations, and when I tried to create something or I was trying to produce content and it wasn't meeting those expectations, your girl got really down on herself and I fell into like this burnout phase, which is what I feel like this opposite of my mind moving and my hand moving, but they're not on the same page. I feel like it's kind of a little analogy for my life. Like, I can barely keep up with myself. No wonder I'm so tired. No wonder I get so hard on myself when I struggle to produce content, or when I feel like I'm not as creative, or when I look at somebody else's page, or when I look at all these other beautiful bullet journalers, and I feel so inadequate sometimes, you know? It was very, very kind of hard to really understand what was going on, and it was scary. The best way to say is that it was very scary. And one thing that also like caught me off guard was that straight afterwards I just went into doing something completely different, like to keep my mind off it. Like, I think I went on my phone and like scrolled on TikTok. Like, your girl just kind of shut it off completely and kept it moving, and that was very, very odd. Last but not least, we have our final day, day 3. Now, this is where I feel like we were turning a curve. Day 3 was a very chill day. It was very easy to let things flow. I had definitely gotten into the routine of things, so I never really started to fixate or hesitate about what I was going to write, how I was going to write it. I just kind of went to work and let things keep on going. And then afterwards, I wasn't so fixated on how I felt throughout the day. I just kind of moved on with my day, which I think is very, very refreshing. And because day 3 was so simple, I'm just going to spend the rest of this time just talking about my experience overall and whether or not I recommend you guys to try this out or whether I'm going to continue to do this. So I hear there are so many benefits when it comes to morning pages, just the ability to be able to be more productive, the ability to clear your writer's block and just truly kind of move on to the day or what you want to do or take out of it. I don't know how to explain it, but there are so many benefits to morning pages that, of course, Julia Cameron expresses in the book. And one thing that I feel like I took from it is that it helped clear my mind a lot. And this practice really kind of eliminated all distractions and anxieties and negative thoughts and just really kind of created a space for me to put something on paper, create something, and have no judgment. And that felt so freeing. And the idea of at least this part of my life being non-censored is so refreshing. I feel like we all need something in our lives that keeps us who we are. I know that was such a long pause, but yes, I really do love morning pages, and I probably will try to implement this into my routine a little bit more regularly. But I honestly feel like the same thing could be done when it comes to journaling first thing in the morning. I feel like just doing anything when you first wake up to just kind of brain dump and reset for the day is a plus. So I always, well, not always, but I recommend morning pages, and I will definitely continue to do them in the future. All right, you guys, we have come to the end of this 3-day experiment. And as I continuously flip through my pages so you guys can see my disastrous handwriting and just a little snippet of the mind that creates KB journals, I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this gave you guys some new creative inspiration on how to stay productive and clear your mind and prepare for anything you want in life. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, follow me on all my socials, and have a happy July.